All right, gentlemen, we're down to our final four now.
Watch, it's gonna be Universal Monsters versus Killer Clowns. I'm gonna be pissed.
If it happens, we're throwing hands, dude. Here we go. Oh my God! You okay?
God damn it!
Hello and welcome back to the Haunt Line, the show dedicated to SoCal haunts and events. Before we begin our episode today, I want to give a huge shout out to HHN Nightmares for putting together today's event. There's a lot of awesome content being released by a lot of creators today that's all HHN related. What better way to celebrate Horror Nights than to have a bunch of Horror Nights content being released on what would have been opening weekend. So be sure to stay tuned and check out all the content they're releasing today. Once again, thank you, HN Nightmares. And today's episode is going to be a lot of fun because today we are holding a bracket style tournament to decide the best maze from Horror Nights Hollywood of the past 5 years. Now, I definitely can't do this alone. So joining us today for the episode are Scott from SoCal Exploring and Anthony from the Knights of Horror. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here, man. When I heard what we were doing and what this was going to be a part of, I was like, holy crap, I've always wanted to be part of one of these.
Hey, man, as soon as HHN Nightmares shot me a DM, I was like, I'm all for it. You know, we need some Horror Nights alive, at least some Horror Nights spirit alive, since obviously we're not going to have Horror Nights this year. So big shout out, like John already said, to HN Nightmares for putting this together.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a great day. And this tournament is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to explain the rules very simply. In this red solo cup, I have written down the names of every maze from Horror Nights Hollywood of the past 5 years. I'm going to randomly pull out two names and we're going to pit them against each other. We're going to choose a winner. And of course, the winner is going to move on to the next round. We're going to keep going until all the names are selected and until we have a winner for the best maze of Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. So randomly selected names, which means that this is going to be difficult at times because we have no clue what's heading our way. Now, one quick note before we get started. I did include the Walking Dead attraction on here just once because although it's been repeating every year, I didn't want to keep, I didn't want to have like 5 versions of it in the cup. So the Walking Dead attraction.
Why not?
I know.
5 versions of it, more dead than ever.
Don't be surprised when it like loses the first round.
I'm voting for it. Just to piss everyone off, I'm voting for it.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This is going to piss a lot of people off, so apologies ahead of time. I already have a couple of names in my mind that I want to win, so fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. Gentlemen, if you're ready to start, I'm ready to start. You guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
Let's get the show on the road.
All right, cool. I'm going to mix up the names in the cup. I'm going to pull out our first 2 options. Here we go. We have... Oh my God. The Shining. Let's see if it focuses. Okay. The Shining.
It's already a good
versus, oh my God, Poltergeist.
Ooh, that's already a difficult one.
It is a very difficult one. I'm with Scott on this.
Versus Poltergeist. Oh my God. All right, guys. You're the guests. I'm going to let you guys go first.
Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, no, you go ahead because I'm still thinking. Because those two mazes, in my opinion, were underrated. Well, except for The Shining.
The Shining, I enjoyed. I only went the one time that year, and I actually really enjoyed it. In order to get away from Black Walls, one thing they did was the all work and no play, make Jack a Doughboy, which was a good replacement for that. Poltergeist was a PG horror movie, gave us a lot. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to go Poltergeist on this one.
Poltergeist. All right. Scott, what's your choice, brother?
All right. So, see, the thing is, right, this Poltergeist was an underrated maze in 2018, in my opinion. A lot of people didn't like it because of how many black walls there were, right? And The Shining, same thing. They had a couple black wall scenes, and there was a couple lackluster scenes in there. But for the event and the lineup for that event, The Shining definitely reigned superior at that event. But honestly, the movie that means the most to me is The Shining, and The Maze really stood out to me, and that's why I'm going to pick, especially the hedge scene at the end. I mean, you can't forget that. So I'm going Shining on this one.
Well, John, it looks like it's all up to you.
Yeah, man. I'm right there with you guys. I actually enjoyed both mazes a lot. However, I think I'm going to have to agree with Scott on this one and give it to The Shining. It was cool going to the hotel. It was cool going through those iconic scenes. And it was such an awesome experience. But again, no hate to Poltergeist. That was also an excellent maze. But
That's exactly how I feel with Shining. No hate to Shining. This one was a very difficult one. They both
absolutely
executed
Yeah,
perfectly,
at the end of the day, I feel like both of them have the same quality. It's just that one means more to me. I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but like the movie just means more to me than Poltergeist did.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. I love Poltergeist. It's such a great movie. But yeah, there's just something about The Shining and something about getting the opportunity to walk through the Overlook Hotel that I can't say no to. So, all right, well, there you go. That's our first choice.
Shining takes the first round.
Yep, Poltergeist goes to the trash. Shining takes the first round. I'm going to mix them up, get our next two going. So right off the bat, guys, that was a doozy.
Yeah, let's see.
That was
I can only
really
imagine what
hard.
the rest of the rounds. We're gonna get some easy rounds in here. We're gonna get some hard rounds or some not
true.
so hard or medium. You know.
All right, next round is The Curse of Pandora's Box
Oh,
versus...
Underrated.
come on, John.
Oh, man. Halloween for the return of Michael Myers. Let's see if this
I already
thing
got my
comes
answer.
on.
Damn,
this
these are all recent mazes that you're pulling out. I think that you
Yeah.
rigged it a little bit.
No rigging here. No rigging. Anthony, what's your choice, brother?
Curse of Pandora's Box. Enough said.
Dang. All right.
And
Scott?
I'm also going with Tony, Curse of Pandora's Box. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, I
You gotta
agree with
bust
you
it.
guys there, man. Curse of Pandora's Box it is.
I already know one person who's pissed about that. His name's Eddie Tainment.
Yeah, we already know Edutainment is pissed about
Sorry,
it.
I
Eddie.
love you, Eddie. Don't worry. I love you.
All right, Curse of Pandora's Box moves on. Plus, I'm a sucker for original mazes.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
love
Sir,
original
we don't
mazes.
get them,
Hollywood
we don't
for
get them
sure.
very often. When we do, we're treated good.
That's true. That is very true. All right, here's our next two, gentlemen. I've got The Walking Dead attraction.
yeah.
I think this is never going to focus. Just take my word for it. The Walking Dead attraction.
I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Halloween 2 or Killer Clowns that you pull out of there.
Let's
I'm calling
see.
it.
It's just Killer Clowns. It's gonna be a hard decision.
Oh, okay. We've got The Walking Dead attraction versus Stranger Things 2/3.
Oh.
Gentlemen.
Walking Dead attraction versus Stranger Things 2. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah. This is a tough one,
my
guys.
God.
This is another easy one. Enough said. Walking Dead attraction.
Dang. Okay.
Stranger
Scott?
Things. I have this passionate hate for
How
Walking
dare
Dead.
you?
Dang!
Dude, I hate Stranger Things too just as much, but I cannot stand Walking Dead. And you know, okay, The Walking Dead has been there for so long, so I feel like I got tired of it. But I feel like if it was a first year thing, like it just came last year, then I'd obviously definitely pick The Walking Dead. So,
Bro, but come on, more dead than ever every year.
more zombies than ever every year.
Dude, they add that photo, they add that photo opportunity in the outside. That's more zombies than ever already.
All right. Well, I'm going to be a little controversial here, boys. The Walking Dead attraction for me. The Walking Dead moves on. I'm sorry, but Stranger Things 2/3 was a giant letdown.
This is the only round it's going to move on to.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? It's like this one was so hard. Or it's not really hard. It's just like one of those ones that's like, okay, well, both of them suck.
If I'm being real here, though, I think they could have. There's so much they could have added in Stranger Things 2 and 3 that
Oh, yeah, for
I
sure.
agree.
it was just left out, and I was just very disappointed in it.
For sure.
There was like one or two really cool scenes, but the rest, like I in my head after walking through that, I was like, you could have added so much more. There's a lot to work with in season 2.
Absolutely. And granted, the detail that went into the Walking Dead attraction, the sets,
Right.
the animatronics, they were all very, very awesome. Obviously, it kind of got a little repetitive throughout the years, but there's no denying the craftsmanship that went into that attraction. So the Walking Dead lives to see another day. All right, guys, here comes our next two. Oh, boy. Let's see. We've got Killer Clowns
we
from
go.
Outer Space.
Say no more. That's my vote.
There's that guy there. Versus, oh, this might be easy. The Horrors of Blumhouse, Chapter 2.
Well, since Anthony already wrote it, I'm gonna say a little bit of something. Right, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is my new favorite maze of all time in Halloween Horror Nights history. It used to be La Llorona, but now it's Killer Clowns.
So Scott, you're choosing Killer Clowns,
Yeah,
obviously.
for sure, for sure.
I think I just love you more for saying that Killer Clowns is now your favorite maze of all time at Horror Nights.
Well, dude, like it took me a little bit of thinking, but like this maze from 2012 that I held on to for such a long time, you know, that was my favorite. I was like, you know, eventually there's gonna be one that becomes my new favorite, and that was Killer Clowns. So
Wow. All right.
So
well,
you know my answer, and we had this conversation last time we did this, John.
yes, we did. All right. Horrors of Blumhouse 2 is out.
you know, the thing is, right now it's super easy to pick some of these, but once we get to the further rounds, it's not gonna be as easy.
It's gonna be
Oh,
horrible.
believe me, this will be painful.
Yeah.
This
No,
will
I
this will
remember.
hurt.
No, I remember.
All right, guys. One of our next choices is Us from last year versus. Oh man, this is. I'm not.
I mean, that was already a solid maze as it is.
Oh, okay. Versus The First Purge.
Oh God.
Oh man,
not
these
focusing. There it
matchups are
is.
crazy.
Oh man. I'm gonna go Us. Solid maze from start to finish. The facade was great. They told the entire movie within the 5 minutes they had in that maze.
Yes.
It was flawless, dude. I expected very less when going into that year for Horror Nights with that maze, being that it seemed like it was a property just thrown out there, but it was actually a solid maze. So I'm going Us.
Agreed. Scott.
I'm gonna say the same as Tony because like Us was just one of those properties that I was like, you know, it's not gonna do that good, and I was hearing rumors that there was tons and tons of black walls in there, but you know, sometimes rumors aren't true, as we saw with this season Horror Night speculation, and yeah, it really shocked me. I will
That's
say
true.
this though, I wish that in the finale scene past the classroom was a little bit better pulled off, since I just wish there was a little bit of detail in there where everyone was holding hands.
Oh well, yeah, but that would have been pretty difficult to
Yeah,
accomplish.
exactly.
But
There's
either
not
way,
really much you can do with that.
right? Us was incredible. I mean, I wanted that maze since I saw the movie, so I'm glad that they gave it to us. And that was a 10 out of 10, probably easily the best maze from last year. I loved Us so much. So Us
Agreed.
moves on. All right, guys, let's see what else we got. We have Trick or Treat versus Freddy versus Jason.
Oh my,
Wow.
this one's a hard one.
Yes.
I actually have two good
man.
things to say about both these mazes.
All right, Anthony, what's your choice, man?
Freddy vs. Jason, a movie since I was a kid, that was probably what introduced me to horror. However, when I saw Trick or Treat for the first time, I fell in love with that movie. And seeing it come to life, you know, it was the dream come true of it becoming a scare zone to it being a maze the next year. I'm going to have to go Freddy vs. Jason.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Scott, what's your vote, my brother?
So, Trick or Treat, they have horror aspects of the movie and non-horror aspects, and I think it fit perfectly in a maze, and it did fit perfectly. With Freddy vs. Jason, the thing that I liked about Freddy vs. Jason is that most of these battling mazes are battling each other, but this one actually felt like they are battling, like not battling, but you know, like attacking you, the guest walking through it. There were just so many great effects in this maze that I haven't seen in a while, and I like the facade of Freddy vs. Jason too. So I'm going Freddy vs. Jason. I'm gonna just say this: Trick or Treat disappointed me just a tad bit for Hollywood.
I think
Dang.
that
All right.
that wall effect was taken out of a page of the cookbook, man.
Yeah,
Those
that
who
was
know,
some good
know.
scrim usage in there. And
Those who know
Coke
know the
definitely loves
cookbook,
those.
man.
All right, Trick or Treat is done. Freddy versus Jason moves on. All right, boys,
Nice.
here we go. We've got Universal Monsters.
God.
I'm already nervous.
I am
Versus
too.
okay, American Horror Story Roanoke.
Oh yeah, I mean Universal Monsters.
Universal
Yeah.
Monsters. Can we just move on at this point?
Yeah, let's just,
Clean
there's,
sweep.
there's no even arguing that. Like, come on, dude. Like, really?
Clean sweep.
Yeah,
If you
but
would
there's
have
some people
said
that-
American Horror Story 1, 4, and 5, then it would have been a little bit harder for me decision to make.
well,
That
you know,
maze
but
was
a lot
solid.
of people like Roanoke, and I was like, why? Like Roanoke
Yeah, I
was
was
not
the same
good.
way. Like, I didn't even like that season to begin with either, like on TV. So it's like bringing it to life. Just, ugh.
Now I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. I thought Roanoke was a pretty beautiful maze. Like that one didn't have very many black walls. I mean, it was very detailed. So they did a
I
good
like
job.
the inside of the house.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that one
was
had
beautiful.
one of those facades within a maze. That was really
There was
cool.
a couple
So-
parts in there that would like definitely like top any other maze at Horror Nights, but for the most part, it's just one of those mazes that's like in the middle of rankings.
Right,
If
and
you
then
put it up against Universal Monsters.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
that's
There's
also
no hope.
that's also
There's
why
no
we're being so hard
competition.
on it, because it's
There's
up against
none.
monsters.
All right, that one was good. All right, here's our next ones. We've got House of a Thousand Corpses versus Insidious: Return to the Further.
Oh God, I didn't like both of them.
Well, which one didn't like less?
Well, so we're talking 2019 House of a Thousand Corpses, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's only
Okay.
2014, right, to 2019.
Yeah.
2015 to 2019.
2015. Okay.
By the way, I feel sorry for everyone who had to see me just struggle to take off my vest, but
It's hot,
anyway,
man. We get it.
It is. No, it's hot. So going back to 2011's House of a Thousand Corpses and comparing it to 2019's was just like, there was no competition. 2011 just had more detail, but I'm going to go Insidious Return the Further because they gave us both Insidious 1 and 2, and I just have a fucking terrifying fear of that Bride in Black.
Yes. Scott, what about you, man?
Now, if House of Thousand Corpses, if we were talking about the 2010 version, then I'd definitely pick House of Thousand Corpses over. However, we're talking about the 2019 one, so I'm going to go with Insidious, because Insidious, that maze was just absolutely terrifying. The facade was beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is one of those mazes, like, I don't really get scared at haunted events as much anymore, but this is one of those mazes that, like, I was actually terrified to walk through. I couldn't really film because I was terrified and kept on my guard of where these jump scares were coming. So I like a maze that terrifies the living hell out of me, and that's what Insidious did.
Absolutely, guys. I agree with you. Although I did like a lot of what they did with House of a Thousand Corpses. I love the Insidious franchise, so that one wins for me, definitely. And that is a great example of an instance where the black walls work really well. Like in The Further. That looked beautiful, and it was
Not like
very,
House
very
of a Thousand
creepy.
Corpses when they put a fucking gate against a black wall.
Well, yes, there you go. All right, guys, here's the next round. Krampus
Oof.
versus...
Already solid right there.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous. Krampus versus Ghostbusters. Oh, man.
Damn it,
man.
John.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Okay. This one's going to hurt. Anthony, what are your thoughts, man?
I called it last year before the event even went on when people were complaining about it. Ghostbusters was going to be the underdog of the event. And it was. However, Krampus had a beautiful facade and from start to finish was just beautiful. So that's why I'm going to go Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Okay,
dang. Okay. All right. Scott?
Krampus. That's it. I mean,
Nice.
I mean, the people who walked through that, you know exactly why I'm picking Krampus. Like, this is...
Yeah.
Yep, that Krampus was beautiful from start to finish. I just like Krampus a little bit better, especially with how big they made him as a character.
Yeah.
Yes.
The detail on Krampus was beautiful from the facade all the way. I think with Ghostbusters, I love the comedy aspect of that movie. And I just started playing the video game, so like I'm
Nice.
completely into Ghostbusters right now.
Well, you're the tiebreaker, John.
Well, gentlemen, I really enjoyed Ghostbusters. I thought it was a great adaptation. There was a lot of fun in it, but I'm going to have to go Krampus as well, because as a maze, Krampus knocked it out of the park with the weather effects, with the puppetry, with the victims, with the detail. I mean, just the facade alone was phenomenal. So
Another 2016 maze.
Just imagine if it was in a soundstage too. I think it would have
my
been
God.
better.
Oh, dude, yeah, that would have been off the hook, man.
Yeah.
All right, Krampus moves on. Dang,
I'm not
that was
disappointed.
tough, dude.
I'm not disappointed in any one. Like I would have been okay with any one of those winning.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're
Honestly,
both
yeah. Ghostbusters was a lot of fun too. That
Yeah.
was a cool franchise to get for Horror
My,
Nights.
my
That was
only
totally
my only
unexpected.
complaint about it is I wish they would have gotten a real Ecto one for the front.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that
That
would have
would've
been
been
cool. You're absolutely right. All right, next round, gentlemen. The Walking Dead, Wolves Not Far. Now that's the final year that we got a standalone maze
Terminus,
of The Walking Dead,
longest maze yet.
and versus Titans of Terror.
Wolves Not Far.
Dang. Okay, that was quick. All right.
I didn't really like any of the Walking Dead mazes, to where they're my number one. But I will say, Wolves Not Far was so impressive. Like it made me rethink. Like, do I really want Walking Dead gone? From the event. Wolves Not Far was great. Something that you'll notice with most of the Walking Dead mazes at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood besides the Walking Dead attraction. You start the maze on the outside, and there's already zombies on the outside, and that's what I really liked about Wolves Not Far. And like Tony said, it was very, very long. I'm going Wolves Not Far. Titans of Terror was great, but Titans of Terror doesn't compete with Wolves Not Far.
I mean, it was supposed to be The Conjuring, so
yeah, that too.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Walking Dead, Wolves Not Far moves on. Now, I will say I love what they did with the transitions in Titans of Terror, how they played like the sound clips and they had like the color corresponding to each Titan. That was dope. But yeah, I enjoyed The Walking Dead, Wolves Not Far as well. So good choice, guys. All right, here we go. Next two. We've got Halloween, Hell Comes to Haddonfield.
Ooh, the sequel.
Versus Stranger Things. Yikes. The first year of Stranger
the
Things.
actual good Stranger Things base.
Yeah.
Anthony?
Halloween 2.
Dang. Okay. Okay.
Too. I mean, Halloween, I'm praising that maze so much, so I'd be wrong not to pick it.
No,
Wow.
I mean, Stranger Things was really good. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But Halloween it's the first two movies. You can't fucking, there's no going up against them. These are iconic
Stranger
films.
Things. I love Stranger Things. Like, I love the series, and I love how one came out. I think they did a really good job with it. But Halloween 2 was just, I mean, the pumpkin spice at the end just sells it.
Yes.
Yeah. The UV lighting and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an excellent maze. I'll agree with you guys there. Although I do love Stranger Things, and I thought they did a phenomenal job with that first season. Yeah, shout out to Stranger Things. But that's it. Stranger Things is officially out of the competition already.
I love the hospital scene in Halloween 2. It was executed so perfectly.
Yes.
And then them playing Mr. Sandman throughout the entire maze, usually, that was beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Murdy's little news report cameo, too. Come on.
Oh, yeah. You can't forget about the cameo.
Right?
All right, gentlemen. Next round, we've got This Is the End 3D versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre Blood Brothers. Anthony?
I'm going to go This Is the End.
Dang.
Ooh.
Okay. Controversial. Wow.
Not a lot of people like this maze, but again, this is back in the days where I was only going once a year. And this maze from start to finish, no black walls. It was detailed perfectly.
True.
Going through Franco's house, and then the false ending of you supposedly going to heaven, but then you go to hell. The mix of horror and comedy for me is always just fun.
Nice.
You're
Scott?
right. There wasn't a single black wall, but it was tons of plain walls painted with graffiti. But we'll ignore that fact. I agree. This Is the End gets a bad rep, though. You know, I think that it was a good maze. That's another prime example of a comedy maze that's not so scary that they brought scare. I mean, they created those demons themselves. You know, that wasn't from the movie. However, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Blood Brothers, it was so good. You know, Texas Chainsaw has stayed around the event for quite some time, but I think this was the first time they used a Waterworld location, and I was super impressed with how little space that they have and how big they made the actual maze. So my vote's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Blood Brothers.
Dang. All right. Well, you guys have both made excellent points. Although I think I'm going to have to go with This Is the End 3D. That one was a kind of a shocker for me, too. Going through it, I had a great time. I'm right there with you, Anthony. If you can scare me and make me laugh at the same time, I'm sold. And Texas Chainsaw, it's got a great legacy at Horror Nights, but rinse and repeat for me every year.
That was just a solid year in general, though, with This Is the End. So
True. Absolutely. Yeah. But all right, cool. Surprisingly, This Is the End moves on.
let's do it.
All right, gentlemen, next two. In our first round, we've got Saw, the Games of Jigsaw, which is kind of that compilation maze, versus The Horrors of Blumhouse. Interesting. Ooh. Okay, all right. Anthony, what's your vote, sir?
Saw Games of Jigsaw, hands down.
Nice.
The gore in it was beautiful. I just had seen Jigsaw. That was a great movie.
Nice.
And seen a lot of the iconic traps come to life from a lot of the iconic movies. And that was actually the first year. I was a year late when I started going to Horror Nights. That was the year before they did Saw maze. So I was just happy to see a Saw maze. However, Horrors of Blumhouse does have a lot of memories to me because I was waiting at the end of that maze. That was the first time I ever met Jason Blum, Frank Grillo, and the entire cast of Happy Death Day. So
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Scott, what's your vote?
So see, I like Horrors of Blumhouse. I like everything up to Sinister for Horrors of Blumhouse. Like, it could have just been Happy Death Day and The Purge. Really, they could have put more detail into Happy Death Day to make it, just completely get away with Sinister, because Sinister had a potential, but they just didn't pull it off right. That being said, the games of Jigsaw. See, with me, it's a little bit difficult because I experienced a Saw Maze before. I experienced that one. So
Nice.
The Saw Maze that I experienced before was way better than the games of Jigsaw. I was disappointed with the games of Jigsaw, and it was just one of those ones that they could reuse a bunch of stuff. So that's why I'm going with Horrors of Blumhouse Volume 1.
Wow. All right. Cool. Damn, this one's pretty difficult for me too. I do love what they did a lot with the movies they chose in the Horrors of Blumhouse. However, I think I'm going to have to agree with you, Anthony. Saw the games of Jigsaw for me, mostly because of the puppetry and all of the cool victim moments they had in there. They had some really incredible stuff going on.
I did
in
like
that maze.
the scene of him. I forget what Saw it was in, but it's where he's getting sliced in half, that big room.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was cool, and I liked how they also add some stuff from the new Jigsaw film. The scene of the saw, the people going into the saws
The bucket
with the
heads.
buckets and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool because it actually felt like you were part of that. Like it was really dope to go through that. That was like a little tease for the movie.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, Saw moves on. Let me get our next two. We're coming down to our final ones here in round one. We've got Holidays in Hell versus, I'm very nervous, Creep Show. Oh, man.
2 2019 properties.
Yeah, yikes. Okay, Anthony, what's your vote, man?
It's not even an argument. Creep Show.
Dang, okay. All right, put it in the garbage.
The garbage. You put it in the garbage. No, the comic book facade was amazing. It was beautiful. I wanted to steal it and put it in my backyard. And then I am a sucker for werewolves, man. And they had a werewolf story, and not to mention they combined the show with the movie. And on top of that, they got Greg Nicotero's sculpts from the show for the host of Creep Show, which I thought was awesome.
Nice.
And the comic book covers they had throughout the maze was really cool. So, Creep Show. And not to mention, I hate roaches. So going through that was a nightmare for me.
Yes. Yeah, agreed. All right, Scott, what's your vote, man?
I'm going to go with Creep Show. I love the film series, and Holidays in Hell, I like it. It was a decent maze. I believe it was in like the middle of my rankings. But it was just I like the maze. It just was one of those things that's like, it's kind of one of those ones that's just there,
Still waiting for that
Man.
Figure soundtrack to drop on Spotify.
Oh, the
Heck
Figure
yeah.
soundtrack with the lyrics. We got to stress that because the Figure soundtrack's out, but I want to hear
did the
Murray's
lyrics.
lyrics.
They were great. Yeah, they were great.
Wow, I got to say, I'm pretty surprised. My vote would have been for Holidays in Hell, to be honest with you. However, Creep Show was a very strong maze, so it's definitely, I'm not mad at it. Although Holidays in Hell, rest in peace, I did really enjoy that maze.
I like Figure, so Figure's good.
Okay, well, we have The Exorcist versus, all right, American Horror Story. Anthony, what's your choice, man?
American Horror Story was very good, very solid. The seasons they chose were great for that first maze, but there's no fucking thing in the world that scares me more than The Exorcist. I feel with, again, this is a movie that only takes place in one room, so it was very hard to execute this maze.
Right.
But Murdy somehow pulled it off. It brought me to the point where I actually brought a rosary to the damn event because I was that scared to go through it. And I was clutching to that rosary the entire maze. So I'm going to go Exorcist.
Nice.
And the facade was flawless.
Oh,
dude.
the facade was beautiful.
Heck yeah.
He did such a good job on that facade. In that little of a space, how big it was beautiful.
Absolutely.
You had a wax figure out there and everything, dude.
It was it was terrifying, right? Seeing Pazuzu, seeing Regan, it was terrifying, But I feel like American Horror Story just hit me a little bit better because I'm a big fan of the series, and Murder House, Freak Show, and Hotel all combined was the perfect choices for the first maze. Freak Show is a little bit too short in my personal opinion. I feel like they could have made it longer and cut back a little bit on the hotel scene. But I'm going American Horror Story. I love The Exorcist, but I have to go American Horror Story. I absolutely love that maze so much.
Scott, I'm going to agree with you. American Horror Story moves on for me. The set work, the detail on that was really great. Although, again, no knock on The Exorcist. That was really awesome.
It's a classic.
Right. And I just loved the colors of American Horror Story, too. And it was full of a lot of really awesome scares. But
I loved American Horror Story, dude. It was such a good maze. But
absolutely.
like I said, there's no film in history that scared me as much as this film. So The Exorcist is just one of those films that, to this day, I just bought the cut you haven't seen version of the movie, and I'm like terrified to still watch it because that includes the spider walk scene. I'm just like, ooh.
Oh man, and it was very well executed as well. So I love it. All right, well then, American Horror Story moves on. All right, our maze tournament continues. We're coming down to our final ones here. The list is dwindling down. The next two that we have are Halloween. Michael Myers Comes Home versus Crimson Peak Maze of Madness.
Okay, Anthony? Halloween.
Nice. Okay.
Again, you can't go wrong with Michael Myers. Those first two films are flawless, in my opinion. So
true. Yeah. Scott.
Ooh. My good friend Justin, HHN Mannix, pointed out the other day how Halloween is kind of overrated for the first one, and I will say that. And Crimson Peak is one of those ones that, it was a beautiful maze, but it just lacked a little bit. So I'm going to go Halloween.
Damn. All right. Well, Halloween, Michael Myers Comes Home, moves on.
Well, which one would you pick?
My vote would have been for Crimson Peak because it's gorgeous.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think Crimson Peak is one instance where the maze was actually better than the movie.
Dang.
No, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
But that was the first time I ever had walked through or seen a Michael Myers maze ever at Horror Nights, and one out of the years I've been going, so that was why I loved seeing that maze.
Nice. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right. Let's see. We've got 4 left. We're down to our final 4 of round 1. So, up next we have Ash versus the Evil Dead going up against Insidious Beyond the Further.
Wow. Insidious Beyond the Further was ass.
So was Ash vs. Evil Dead.
This is going to be an unpopular opinion on Scott and most people, but I actually enjoyed Ash vs. Evil Dead.
So?
Ash vs. Evil Dead for me because...
Dang, okay.
I love the trailer scene. I love the facade of the cabin. And I'm just a huge Bruce Campbell and Evil Dead fan in general. So it's like, no matter how shitty that maze would have been, like, honestly, for me, anything's better than Beyond the Further.
Damn.
So, yeah.
All right, Scott?
Honestly, anything's better than me than Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Dang. Oh, man.
Even Stranger Things, too.
All right. I'm going to have to agree with you here, Scott. It's Insidious Beyond the Further for me, man. All right. Final 2, gentlemen, of round 1. Let's see what we got. Woo! And then we're going to start blasting through these. We've got Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman versus, oh my God, Alien versus Predator.
First year or second year?
That's so funny. That's so
same. I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, first year was, I think, better for me, but
no, you don't say first year was better because it was the same exact one the second year.
Well, I mean, it was cool for me. I'm a fan of that franchise, so for me to just see that maze the first time ever was beautiful. Like, I loved what they executed, and I hate face huggers too. Have a big phobia of them, so walking through that terrified the fuck out of me. But it's the Universal monsters, so you're gonna have to go with Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, an unexpected sequel that I thought was gonna be shit, but it was actually phenomenal.
Scott, what's your choice, brother?
Overrated. Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman's overrated.
Oh dang!
Bunch of reused props. Let me tell you, just because everybody loved Universe monsters, and rightfully so, everyone was like, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman is going to be just as good. It wasn't just as good, and I love the maze and all, but AVP being in Soundstage 747 with that first kind of ship crash scene was great, even though there was no big facade, and even though we were disappointed when it came back as the exact same maze. I mean, that finale scene, like, you can't beat that. Like, that finale scene was insane.
Yeah, Scott, I'm going to have to go with you there, dude. There's no competition for me. Alien versus Predator was awesome.
Wow.
And I, for one, was stoked
There's a reason why I didn't vote for it, because I thought I was going to get shit on for voting for it, but apparently everyone else liked it. So it was like, come on.
Tony's like, actually, AVP, you're right.
No, I really liked AVP, but then I also, I thought Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman was a lot better than I expected. It wasn't nearly as good as Universal Monsters.
It was better than
it was
I
a good
expected,
sequel.
yeah. But I just don't like when a maze being overhyped ruins it for me. I don't know why. I just really like that.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
AVP for me was 10 out of 10.
I was fine with either or winning, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
well, there you go.
They're both equally as good.
All right, gentlemen, that's round one. We're going to start blasting through these mazes, and it's going to get harder and harder because these are now all of our favorites going up against each other. Starting with the first two of round two, we've got us versus Freddy versus Jason. Anthony?
Us.
Scott?
Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, dang!
I like how this round there's no pleading cases. We already did it the first round, so it's like
Freddy
just
versus
choosing.
Jason. Like, I just us can't beat it, man. Freddy versus Jason. Come on now, it's a
Well,
classic.
Scott, us is about to beat it because my vote is for us.
Dude, fun fact, when I found this out, but they actually hired the choreographer for that movie to do the scare actor work, so.
Yes, yeah. And it was
That's
gorgeous,
awesome.
man. I loved it. All
beautiful.
right. Sorry, Scott.
Fair enough.
I love you,
All
Scott.
right. Next round. This is the End 3D versus Universal Monsters.
Universal Monsters.
Yeah,
Let's move
Scott.
on. Let's just move
This
on.
is the end.
No.
Universal Monsters. Universal Monsters.
Let's just move on. That wasn't obvious.
Universal Monsters moves on. All right. Next two we've got are The Curse of Pandora's Box versus The Shining. Oh, man.
Where's
Ooh,
Pandora's
Anthony?
Box?
Really? Pandora's Box?
Originals are, I'm a sucker like you, dude. I'm a sucker for originals.
All right. Scott?
This is one of those ones that everyone's gonna be like, "You idiots! Why are you even be thinking about that?" I'm gonna go with Shining.
Dang.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm fine
I'm
with
gonna have to
either
go
or,
with
honestly.
I'm gonna have to go with The Shining on this one too. Although
I was fine with either or, honestly. That was a tough one, but I like
It was
both of
one of
them.
those things where I just genuinely don't like. It's in between. It's really in between.
That one was hard. Curse of Pandora's Box. Again, I love the original concept of it, but the detail in The Shining is what does it for
Beautiful.
me. All right, the next two that we got here are Krampus versus Halloween Hell Comes to Haddonfield.
Oh,
Anthony?
I'm gonna go Krampus.
Dang, okay, all right. Scott? I know this is going to be tough for you, dude.
the only reason, no. I love, like, I'm with Eddie. I'm just as much of a Halloween fan as Eddie is. Obviously,
Right.
I actually, like, judge a maze based on it's good or not, where Eddie's just like, every Halloween maze is good. But,
Dude, Halloween 6 can come to the event. He'd think that'd be the best maze ever.
shout out to Eddie-tainment. Shout out,
We love
everyone go
Eddie.
subscribe to him.
East
Everyone go-
versus West. Love you, buddy.
I'm gonna go with Halloween 2. This
Interesting
is
choice.
the toughest decision throughout this whole bracket that I've had to make.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to go Krampus. Definitely Krampus for me. It has the wow
Krampus is
factor
good.
because I never expected that to come to the Horror Nights at all. So,
Facade. Yeah, every room was beautiful.
absolutely. All right. Next two, gentlemen. Here we go. We've got Saw, the Games of Jigsaw versus Alien versus Predator. Anthony?
No, I'm gonna go Alien versus Predator. I love the way the Predator looked. I love the way the aliens looked, and I like being in the middle of that fight. The slogan for that year is "No matter who wins, we lose." So
true,
I thought that was
it's
a
true.
dope slogan.
Scott?
AVP. I want Saw out of the competition.
Facehuggers alone too are just a phobia of mine. So
Well, you got your wish granted. Saw is gone. AVP moves on. All right, here we go, guys. Next two. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I'm choosing right now. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You don't even gotta tell me the second one. That's it. I'm choosing right now.
versus Creep Show.
Killer Clowns from Outer
kid
Space.
you-
Oh, yeah,
dang.
I'm not changing my decision. You can't. I will choose that maze to purposely win at the end of this whole thing. You can't change my decision. That maze to me was flawless.
Dang. Okay. Scott.
Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns it is. All right. Killer Clowns. Moving on. This is going to be, this final round's going to hurt for sure, man. All right. Next up, we've got The Walking Dead Wolves Not Far versus Insidious Beyond the Further.
Wolves Not Far.
All right. Scott.
Beyond the Further, for sure.
Dang.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Beyond the
Tiebreaker.
Further.
Let's see, John.
Oh, man. This one's tough, but I'm going to have to go with Insidious myself.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, Insidious. Sorry, Walking Dead.
Oh,
You
wait,
out.
that was the fucking. Oh, that was the second Insidious, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
You keep getting mixed up, man.
Yeah, I do, because they both had the name Further in them. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I change my vote?
Sure.
Either way.
It doesn't change the
Yeah,
outcome
either
either way.
way,
so
either
it's
way.
good. Yeah, so I don't care. Go ahead.
I'm changing my vote.
All right. Next up, guys, we have Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home versus American Horror Story. Anthony?
Halloween.
All right. Scott?
American Horror Story.
Okay. All right. This is the one time where I'm going to have to go with my boy Mike Myers, dude. Halloween takes the cake for me.
Eddie would be proud.
That one's for you, Eddie. You're
mean
welcome,
he'd be-
brother.
he'd be proud.
Austin Powers.
He's in the comments right now, probably typing,
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Now, that's a
baby.
maze
Yeah,
I would love
baby.
to see, man. Yeah, baby.
He's got a Dr. Evil maze going.
It's the fembot comes in.
The fembot. She was a fembot.
All right, guys, we have the last two of round 2, which is The Walking Dead Attraction versus Insidious Return to the Further.
Insidious.
The Walking Dead attraction.
Oh!
Insidious.
Fuck Beyond the Further.
Insidious.
Fuck Beyond the Further. I already know it's gonna win, but fuck that maze.
Wait, you said Beyond the Further, right? The
Return to the Further. Return to the Further.
Okay. Oh wait, no. That was the 2015 Insidious.
I thought he said Beyond the Further.
No,
Return to the Further was
Return to the
against.
Further. Yeah, Return to
I
the
thought
Further.
Return was against.
Are you
AVP.
changing your vote there, Anthony?
2015, the good Insidious is the one that went up against Walking Dead Attraction right now.
Yes.
Oh, then I'm going Insidious.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you're changing your vote then, Anthony, to Insidious Return to the Further?
Return of the Further was good. That was the sequel. I like that.
Okay, cool. So then The Walking Dead Attraction is now out.
As much as I would have loved to see Walking Dead Attraction go to round 3 for the fucking laughs.
Okay, cool. Well, then we're all settled. Now it's time for round 3. We're coming down to the final mazes here. Let's see what we got.
Should be a fucking storm now.
First one of round 3, we have Us versus Insidious Return to the Further.
Us.
Okay, Scott.
Insidious Return to the Further.
Dang. All right, for me, it's gonna be Us. Us,
Damn,
baby,
I keep
all the
losing.
way.
I keep losing here,
Sammy
guys.
would be so proud of us right now.
This is for you,
intended.
Sam. Next up, we have Universal Monsters versus
Don't go up against Killer Clowns. Don't
yeah,
go
it's
up
gonna be
against
clowns.
Killer Clowns. Don't go up against Killer Clowns.
Insidious
Okay.
Beyond the Further.
Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
Scott.
that's a
on,
given.
move
That's
on.
that's a
All
given.
right.
Move on. Just move on.
It gotta pass.
All
It gotta
right.
pass in round 2, but not in round 3.
Fuck,
right, cool.
man.
Oh man, I'm gonna.
What's gonna happen when Universal Monsters goes up against Killer Clowns?
It's gonna hurt. That's what's gonna happen. Next up, we've got The Shining versus Alien versus Predator. Anthony,
Alien versus Predator.
Scott.
I'm gonna go AVP 2. Honestly,
Oh.
Everybody probably thinks I hate on The Shining.
Thank God.
Like, cause I didn't vote for The Shining once this thing.
No,
even though I
everyone probably
really
thinks I
did
hate on
enjoy
us
that
because I
maze.
haven't voted on it at all, but I don't.
Yeah, same thing with The Shining. I don't. I just, there's other mazes.
That's just the name of the game, y'all. Oh, okay. Actually, we're down to an odd number in this round. There's 3 in here. So what I'm gonna do?
How's that possible?
It's just the math. I am gonna pull out 2. I'm gonna have these go against each other, and then I'm gonna pull out the last one that's in there, and we're gonna have the winner of this round go against the winner of that round to decide who moves on next. All right. So we've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
versus Halloween Michael Myers Comes Home. We already
Yep.
know what Anthony
Yep,
chose.
Killer Clowns from Outer
Scott?
Space.
Yeah, I'm going with Killer Clowns too.
All right, Killer Clowns moves on for this final portion of the round. Now it's Killer Clowns versus Krampus.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Scott?
I'm fighting to the end. This is like the Titanic for me. I'm going down with
I
it.
already said Killer Clowns. I'm like, damn it. Yeah, I'm going.
You know
Killer
what's in
Clowns.
your heart, Scott.
I'm going to Killer
Choose
Clowns.
All right, Killer Clowns moves on.
That one
Cool.
hurts, man. That one hurts.
Oh, Krampus, you're so
It
good.
didn't hurt me one bit, so.
That one hurt me.
All right, gentlemen, we're down to our final four now. We've got our even final four. These are all heavy hitters.
You bastard. You're perfectly going to put up Universal Monsters against Killer Clowns, too.
I am not.
Fate's going to decide that, and I'm going to be so pissed.
You just spoke that into existence. And if it happens,
I did.
We're throwing
Fate's
hands,
going to
dude.
decide that
Here we
right
go.
now. Watch. It's going to be Universal Monsters versus Killer Clowns. I'm going to be pissed.
All right, here's the first one. And then here's the second one. We've got Alien versus Predator
Okay.
versus Us. Oh my God! You okay?
God damn it!
Wow, you bastard! You've literally spoken into existence. All right, here we
Alien
go.
versus Predator.
Okay, Scott, AVP, Anthony.
Oh, I don't want to go to the next round. Can we do a redo on that one?
Us. Okay.
Yeah, us.
I'm gonna have to go AVP with this
Yes,
one, although it
yes,
hurts like hell.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it hurts like hell.
Scott's just
Us
voting. He
was-
just wants us out of here. He don't give a shit.
Yes. Screw Us.
Whoa.
You hold back there.
Okay, I want to say this before we move on. Like I said, nothing against Us. I love the maze. It was literally my second favorite maze at the event last year.
Yes, absolutely.
There was all the other ones that went up against it I like better.
Anthony, I 100% blame you for this one because you spoke it right into existence. Although, honestly, I think it was going to come down to this
It
anyways.
was a 2 and 4 chance. Come on.
Exactly. We've got Universal Monsters versus Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I already hate you both. What are your choices?
The audience is gonna hate me right now. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Scott?
Going down.
I'm picking Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh,
Fucking love you,
bastards.
Scott.
You
I know.
bastards.
I knew I fucking subscribed to you all those years ago for a reason.
Yeah.
Just never knew why.
I have a
Until this
feeling
moment.
I know exactly where this final round is going. Universal Monsters,
Oh my
rest in
God.
peace. I love
This
you.
is such a bad championship round.
I love you, Universal
The
Monsters.
last two, AVP versus Killer Clowns from
fucking give
Outer
it the fucking
Space.
victory already!
Anthony, I'm pretty sure I know what you're voting, but let's hear it.
Alien versus no, I'm just kidding. Imagine.
You almost
No.
got me.
No. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, obviously. Duh.
Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, I think AVP had a good run, but you knew it was coming for this.
Oh, man.
So, Killer Clowns.
Just imagine if Killer Clowns and Universal Monsters were the finals.
Oh, man. Well, gentlemen, we have officially crowned Killer Clowns from Outer Space as the best maze at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. Killer Clowns takes the cake, guys.
In the last 5
Congratulations.
years right there, man. That was,
Man, that was a really tough competition. Lots of great names in there, but Killer Clowns has prevailed. Anthony, final thoughts, man.
Fucking Killer Clowns. What can I say, dude? That was a fantastic year for me. I mean, since I was a kid, I've always wanted to go on that spaceship and press the fucking buttons and all that fun stuff. And Killer Clowns, I mean, I love it, dude. It doesn't shock me one
Absolutely.
bit.
Scott, final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, and they said it right there. Like, the movie was so cheesy and fun and has that horror side to it. So I'm happy that I finally got to experience it. And I know you're going to do your sign off right now, but I just want to say from myself, thank you to HHN Nightmares for putting this together. You guys are doing
Yes.
something big
Yeah.
and it's great.
No, I want to thank HHN Nightmares too. I mean, not only for putting this together, like this is awesome, and I've always wanted to be part of these. So thank you for making my dreams come true. But for putting out speculation maps for all of us haunt updaters to constantly look forward to every year, and just being you, man. Don't ever change. Be you. We fucking love you. We appreciate you, and
I
thank
think
you
it's a
for
whole
keeping-
team. So shout out to
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the team.
the whole team, dude.
Absolutely.
I mean, So thank you guys for doing what you guys do. Thank you for doing this to keep the haunt season and Halloween alive. And I'm just honored to be part of it. And John, I want to also thank you for inviting me on to do this.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure anytime.
Yeah, and John,
Yeah.
thanks for coming up with the idea, because I was gonna do a separate thing for this stream, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So thanks for coming up with this.
I'm glad the Booze Brothers got to work together on this.
There you go, man. The West Coast Booze Brothers.
Yeah.
We got this. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. That was a lot of fun. That was difficult. But there you have it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is the winner. Thank you, guys. And well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Haunt Line. Thank you so much once again to both Scott and Anthony for joining us today, and to HN Nightmares for putting on this event. Once again, there's going to be lots of great content being released today, so stay tuned. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter for up-to-the-minute haunt news. You can also visit us on the web for links to all of our stuff, and you can download our podcast. And until the next time, thank you for calling The Haunt Line.